I'm Anthony. I've been playing poker for a living since 2019. Hit that intro.
Don't soul roll me if you get quad fours, man.
You folded king, king, jack, jack? You owe me $350. Your money should be in there too.
Did you bluff me?
Would I ever bluff?
I'm leaving out there. I'm on
No,
tilt.
it's on tilt. Thank you, sir. I would not lie to you, sir. I told you I had a full house. Doing the Lord's work. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
This week's episode is from our first ever 1-1 PLO game at Georgetown Poker from August 4th, 2023. We had a full table with waitlist, so I'm hoping we'll see this grow into 2 full tables running each week, as we'll be playing Fridays at 7 p.m. We'd love to have you join us. There's one limper. In the cutoff, I look down at Ace-Jack 9-4, suited in hearts to my ace. I make it $3, both blinds, and the limper call. The flop comes Ace-7-6 with 2 hearts. When it checks to me, I bet $7, and the small blind is the only caller. The turn is the 4 of diamonds, and we both check. The river is the 4 of hearts. Now my opponent leads into me for 15. I've rivered a full house, but it's not impossible for me to run into 6s or 7s full in this spot. Given I have the nut flush and an underfull, it's hard for me to think there are many hands I can get value from by raising here. I think by raising, it's just going to cost me money when I'm behind, or fold out my opponent's bluffs or made hands that can't beat me. As such, I just call.
King high flush, no good because I have an ace high flush and a full house. Wait for the block. No, oh no, it's okay. It's all right. I'll just make up a hand. I was like, does he have like a set of 6s or 7s? Like, did he get there on me? Thank you, sir.
There's one caller. In the cutoff, I look down at Jack 10, 10-6, suited in clubs to my jack. I call, and we take a flop 5-handed. Hold my wine, bitches! The flop is Queen 9-8 Rainbow. I flop the stone cold nuts, but aside from a backdoor flush or full house possibilities, my hand isn't going to improve. When it checks to me, I bet $2 to try and extract value. I get one caller. The turn is the 6 of spades. I bet 6.
He's shaking his head. That's good for us. Head shake is always good news. I hit the turn. Yeah.
I had a queen. I get like 10 ones out of your trade.
Thank you, sir.
You had straight draws, flush draw. I'm like, I don't have to get the queen.
We're playing a $5 double board bomb pot 8-handed. On the button, I'm dealt 9-7, 7-4, double suited in spades and diamonds. The flops come down 10-7-5 rainbow and Jack 8-4 with 2 spades. There's a bet of $40 and I make the call. We go to the turns heads up against the aggressive Asian at the table. The turns are the 10 of diamonds and the 9 of diamonds. My opponent bets 100, and with a turned full house on the top board and a pair plus multiple draws on the bottom board, I announce pot, getting my remaining 225 in the middle. When my opponent snap calls, I'm not feeling too confident.
I have quads and I have queen 10.
Really? You have queen 10?
Motherfuckers. I do have a 10.
I got a flush and 7s full.
Oh, scoop! That is a scoop. 9? Set of 9s?
Show for the block!
No. Yeah. Set of 9s, scoop 10s. No good.
Oh, wow.
Nice hit.
I did not expect to scoop that. I thought you had quads for sure. When you snapped.
Quads?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not folding a set for 10.
I just remember I gotta go walk my cats, guys. So I'll see y'all later. They haven't peed today. All right.
400 bucks.
Thank you. You're doing the Lord's work.
I'm in the small blind holding 10-6, 6-5, suited in diamonds to my 10, and we go 6 ways to a flop.
Loose Asian males are no match for the power of poker Jesus.
The flop is 7-4-3, giving me the nut straight. I bet $6 and I get 2 callers. The turn comes the king of diamonds, giving me a diamond flush draw as well. I bet 18.
It's not coming.
Yeah, not that.
It's not coming, boys.
5-6 good.
Thank you, Tori.
There's a raise to $2 and 2 players have made the call. In the small blind, I look down at ace-9, 7-3, double suited in clubs and diamonds. I make the call as well. The big blind calls, and we wind up going 5 ways to a flop. The flop comes down 9-8-5 with 2 clubs. I lead right out for half pot of $5, and the button makes the call.
Poker Jesus about to nut all over this bitch.
The turn is the beautiful jack of clubs. I take a page out of the amateur's playbook, making the same bet as on the previous street of just $5, and he falls for it. The river comes the deuce of clubs. I now bet $9, and he calls.
Nuts!
Nice!
Nuts!
Nice!
We got him for the block!
You did.
Show!
I was going for the.
Oh, we got
Super
him.
nuts.
Super.
going for
Oh, he
the
was
super
going for the
nuts.
super nuts. Oh, that would have been bad.
Let you get there.
There is one caller. The button raises to $5. The small blind calls, and in the big blind, I look down at king jack, 10-6 suited in spades to my jack. I call, the limper comes along, and we're going 4 ways to a flop.
Good luck finding a way to get paid, you little bitch.
The flop is ace, king, queen, all spades. I flopped a fucking royal flush. Holy fucking shit. It's going to be hard to get action, but I absolutely have to let someone catch up. Unfortunately, it's checked around. The turn comes the king of diamonds. It's going to be real hard to get much action now. Not only do I have the unbreakable nuts, but I have a king in my hand, so I'm blocking someone from having the full house. But wait, we're in Texas. Me having all the cards needed to bet this board doesn't mean shit, as the small blind leads out for $15. I make the call, and we go heads up to the river. The river is the 8 of diamonds. Once again, my opponent bets into me, this time sizing up to $40. I think for a little bit and then raise to $100. He goes deep into the tank, but he's likely Hollywooding, as what can he realistically have? Eventually, despite getting more than 3-1 on a call, he finds the fold.
We got the royal. And I had the king. I wish I didn't have the king blocker. The royal. I want a Georgetown poker jacket. Thank you.
You just flop the royal.
Just flop the royal.
Thank you.
Just, how we do. I wish Jake was in there. He would have bluffed me. He would have blasted.
I don't know if I've ever had a hand in my life call on that board. I don't think I've...
Under the gun has raised to 4. There's multiple callers. On the button, I look down at the janky ace-3-4-4 suited in hearts to my ace. But given I have a suited ace in position on the field, I make the call. We wind up going 7 ways to a flop.
Bet you're glad you didn't fold now, you little bitch.
The flop is 10-8-7 all hearts. Great googly moogly. I am running fucking hot tonight. He bets $10. There's one caller. I make it 25. The original better calls, and the guy in between folds. The turn comes the 4 of spades.
Pot.
I genuinely have a small set, so one
Please
second.
just show me a blocker. Please have nut blocker only. Nut blocker only. Nut blocker only. Nut blocker only.
Set of 4s.
Nut blocker only. Set no good.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
My set was no good?
Set no good.
What'd you have?
Set a 10.
There's one limp, and in the cutoff, I make it $4, holding ace-ace 5-4 suited in diamonds to my ace. Now the button repops to 15. The small blind calls, the big blind calls, the limper calls, and I drop that motherfucking hammer, repotting it to $90. The original raiser goes into the tank but finds the fold. The aggressive Asian in the blinds who doubled me up earlier decides to call from the big blind, and we go heads up to a flop of 7-7-4 rainbow. My opponent checks. I down bet to 75 and he makes the call. The turn is the 9 of diamonds, giving me the nut flush draw to go along with my aces up. My opponent checks and I decide to check it back. The river comes the 3 of hearts, and now my opponent leads into me all in for 227. Now, I know he puts me on aces, and I know that he knows I know he puts me on aces. He's going to have all the 7s in his range here, which I don't block. I do, however, block 4s full, as well as the nut straight. What would you do in this spot? Are you calling or are you folding? Let me know in the comments down below, and be sure to tune in next week as I reveal how this hand ended up.
Can Poker Jesus come to the correct conclusion? Is he stuck on the river in a leaky boat? Tune in next week. Same poker time, same poker channel.
You know, after watching a video like this, sometimes I'll like it, sometimes I'll leave a comment, and sometimes I'll subscribe. Sometimes I'll even do all three.